distance exists in the room tonight. Everything feels close enough to touch. Even the things I haven't named. Time folds inward, losing its sharp edges, and the night settles like it knows me well. The clock continues politely, but its authority feels optional. Snow outside softens the streets, turning direction into suggestion. The piano speaks slowly, each chord arriving with no need to justify itself. Silence is treated with respect here, left intact where it belongs. The bass walks beneath it all, steady and grounding, a quiet promise that nothing is about to fall apart. In this absence of distance, memories feel nearer, not intrusive, just present. I don't organize them, I don't correct them, they arrive, sit beside me, and leave when they're ready. Brushes move lightly, keeping the night smooth, unbroken. Smoke lifts, pauses, and disappears without conclusion. The piano leans into a chord that doesn't resolve, doesn't point ahead, it stays long enough to be felt, then lets go. Outside, the city lowers its voice, lights dimming without instruction. Inside, the room remains home. No distance remains when morning finally reaches the window. I rise slowly, carrying the closeness with me, the understanding that some nights bring everything nearer, not to be examined, but simply to be held until a gaze ready again. Quiet weight settles into the room without being noticed at first. It isn't heavy in the way burden is heavy, it's heavy in the way presence is, the way stillness fills space without making noise. Time moves gently now, each second stepping forward without leaving a mark. Snow presses softly against the window, not asking to enter, only wanting to be close. The piano begins with restraint, placing each chord as if it respects the air around it. Nothing is rushed, nothing is held back too tightly. The bass anchors everything below, steady and calm, a reminder that stability doesn't need to speak loudly. Under this quiet weight, my thoughts stop competing. They drift in slowly, unfinished, and I let them stay that way. I stop measuring progress. I stop asking whether I've done enough. Brushes sweep gently, smoothing the edges of the night, turning time into something forgiving. Smoke rises, then fades, and the room remains unchanged. The piano circles back, not insisting, just checking the shape of the moment. Outside, the city exhales, sirens dissolving into distance. Inside, the quiet weight remains, not pressing down, but holding things together. Against the glass, bringing contrast and direction, I stand calmly, carrying that quiet weight with me, not as obligation, but as proof that some moments give more by last light lingers longer than expected, not bright enough to call it evening, not dim enough to surrender to night. It rests against the wall, softening corners, teaching the room how to let go. The clock keeps moving quietly, as if it knows this hour. Prefer suggestion over instruction. Snow settles outside with intention, each flake choosing patience over drama, covering yesterday without commentary. The piano enters carefully, not to perform, but to stay. Each chord is placed where silence can hold it, never crowding the air, never asking for more space than it needs. The bass walks slowly underneath, steady as something that has endured many quiet endings. In the presence of last light, my thoughts slow their pace. They no longer rush to be useful. They arrive without conclusion. Sit with me and wait. Brushes soften the shape of time, rounding every sharp idea until urgency feels distant. Smoke lifts once, hesitates, and disappears, leaving nothing behind that needs to be explained. I think about all the nights I hurried through, afraid of what silence might reveal. But here, nothing demands confession, nothing needs a resolution. The piano returns gently, not repeating, just listening to the room, confirming balance still exists. Outside, the city loosens its grip, traffic thinning into memory, lights blinking without purpose. Inside, the last light fades naturally, not as loss, but as completion. When darkness finally takes over, it does so kindly, and I remain seated, grateful for a moment that didn't rush its own ending. Held quiet is how the night feels, not silent, but careful. Every sound knows its place, every pause feels intentional. Time unfolds without pressure, each moment allowed to settle before the next one arrives. The clock ticks softly, more decoration than authority. Snow presses gently against the window, not asking to enter, only wanting to remain. restraint, placing each chord as if it respects the space around it. The bass anchors the room, steady and calm, a quiet assurance that nothing is about to fall apart. Brushes move slowly, rounding the edges of the night. They arrive without explanation, then drift away unfinished. I don't chase them, I don't correct them. The room accepts them as they are. Smoke rises once more, thins and disappears. Nothing reacts, nothing collapses. The piano leans into a chord that doesn't resolve, doesn't point forward. It stays long enough to be felt, then releases outside. The city softens, sirens fading into distance. Inside the night stays intact, held quiet remains until morning presses gently against the glass, bringing contrast back into the world. I stand without resistance, carrying that stillness with me, the understanding that some moments are meaningful not because they move, but because they hold you exactly where you are. Slow drift fills the space between one moment and the next. Not movement toward anything, just movement that exists. The night stretches comfortably as if it has nowhere else to be. The clock continues politely, each second stepping forward, then letting go. Nothing feels late, nothing feels early. Snow outside dulls the sound of distance, turning the city into suggestion. The piano speaks carefully, allowing silence to finish its sentences. Each chord arrives, rests, and fades when it's ready. The bass supports everything quietly, never demanding attention, never losing its place. Brushes trace the rhythm lightly, keeping the night smooth. In this slow drift, I stop stop evaluating myself. I stop asking whether I'm behind, whether I miss something important. The moment doesn't judge, it allows. Smoke lifts, changes its mind and vanishes. I let it go without translating it. The piano circles back again, not repeating, just reminding the room that balance still exists outside. The city exhales, traffic dissolving into distance. Inside, the night remains wide, roomy enough to breathe in fully. Oh, da 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 da, so da 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 da. Sharpens the edges again. I rise calmly, carrying the rhythm with me, a reminder that not every part of life needs direction to feel complete. Deep hours arrive without ceremony, slipping into the room. Once the world has stopped checking itself, the light softens naturally. Corners lose their sharpness, and time begins to move. As if it finally remembers how the clock keeps ticking, but its voice feels distant now. More habit than instruction, more memory than command. Snow settles slowly outside, covering the street until everything looks newly forgiven. The piano opens gently, not to impress, not to announce, but to exist. Each chord takes its time, settling beside silence instead of replacing it. The bass walks patiently underneath, steady as something that has survived many nights like this before. In these deep hours, I stop organizing my thoughts. They arrive uneven, unfinished, and I let them stay that way. Nothing asks for clarity, nothing requires completion. Brushes move softly, smoothing the shape of time, turning urgency into distance. Smoke rises, hesitates, then disappears, leaving the air unchanged. I think about how often I've mistaken noise for connection, nothing competes. The piano returns, not repeating. Just checking in, as if making sure the room is still listening. Outside, the city loosens, sirens thinning into memory, lights blinking without purpose. Deep hours don't promise rest, but they allow it. They don't explain anything, but they don't need to. And morning finally presses against the glass, bringing edges back into focus. I stand quietly, carrying the calm forward, not as something fragile, but as something learned. Time held the room carefully tonight, not frozen, not paused, just steady moments of land, one by one, each given space to settle before the next appeared. The clock continued its habit, but it felt ornamental now, a suggestion rather than a rule. Snow pressed softly against the window, not asking to enter, only wanting to remain close. The piano began with restraint, each chord placed as if it respected the silence around it. The bass anchored everything steady and calm, a quiet assurance that nothing was about to collapse. Brushes moved gently, rounding the edges of the night. Time held my thoughts without asking them to make sense. They arrived unfinished, then drifted away uncorrected. I didn't chase them, I didn't organize them. The night accepted them as they were. Smoke rose, paused, then vanished, the room didn't react. The piano leaned into a chord that didn't resolve, didn't explain, didn't point forward. It stayed long enough to be felt. Outside, the city softened, sirens thinning, voices disappearing inside. The night remained intact. Time held until morning pressed gently against the glass, bringing shape and direction back. I stood quietly, carrying that careful stillness with me, the understanding that some moments matter, not because they move you forward, but because they let you rest exactly where you are. Dim hours stretched gently across the room, not trying to be useful, not asking to be noticed. The light stays low, the air stays patient, and time moves as if it has nowhere else to be. The clock ticks softly, almost apologetically, each second landing without urgency. Snow rewrites the street outside, covering sharp lines, leaving everything suggested. The piano speaks in careful phrases, leaving space between thoughts, letting silence finish what it starts. The bass walks calmly beneath, never skipping, never dragging, a quiet reminder that stability doesn't need explanation. In these dim hours, I stop measuring myself. I stop asking whether I've done enough, whether I should want more. Nothing in the room expects improvement. Brushes skim lightly, smoothing the rhythm into something forgiving. Smoke curls upward, thins and disappears. The moment stays home. The piano circles back, not insisting, just listening to itself outside. The city lowers its voice, traffic dissolving into memory. Inside, the night remains generous, wide enough to breathe wide enough to stay. Dim hours don't promise clarity. They offer honesty. They show me how much of life exists quietly without witnesses. When morning sharpens the edges again, I rise slowly, taking the calm with me, knowing that not every truth needs full light to be real. After midnight, the room forgets its edges. Light settles where it wants. Time loosens its grip, and nothing feels required. The clock keeps moving out of habit, not direction. Each second arriving, then stepping back into the dark. Snow gathers quietly outside, layer by careful layer, softening the street until even memory feels padded. The piano opens without announcement, gets the air before committing, placing each chord where silence can hold it. Moves underneath everything, steady and unremarkable. The kind of sound you trust because it never asks for attention. Still after midnight, thoughts stop competing. They arrive one at a time, sit down and wait to be acknowledged. I stop correcting old conversations, stop rehearsing future ones. The night doesn't need me prepared, it allows me to remain unfinished. Brushes sweep gently, rounding off the edges of time. Smoke rises, hesitates, then disappears without explanation. I don't follow it, I let the moment stay open. The piano returns again, not repeating, just checking balance, as if making sure nothing has tipped. Outside, the city exhales, sirens thin into distance, lights blink like tired eyes. Inside, the room feels complete, not because everything is resolved, but because nothing is demanding resolution. Still after midnight, I realize how rarely I let time move on its own. How often I try to guide it, push it, justify it. Here, none of that matters. The night holds together without instruction. Against the edge of the glass, light fills the room without asking permission. It doesn't brighten, it doesn't dim, it simply rests where it lands. The night feels wider here, less defined, as if edges were optional. The clock ticks softly, not trying to keep order, just acknowledging movement. Snow settles outside in careful layers, rewriting the street without commentary. The piano speaks in patient phrases, leaving room for breath between thoughts. Each chord arrives, waits, then releases. The bass holds everything steady, quiet and dependable, never leaning forward, never falling behind. In low light, I stop measuring myself. I stop asking whether I've done enough, whether I should want more. The moment doesn't expect improvement, it allows me to exist without explanation. Brushes skim gently, smoothing the space between beats, making time feel forgiving. Smoke curls upward, thins and disappears. Nothing reacts, nothing collapses. The piano circles back, not repeating, just listening to itself outside the city. Lowers its voice, traffic turning into memory. Low light doesn't promise clarity, it offers honesty. It shows me how much of life exists quietly, without announcement. When morning finally sharpens the edges again, I stand slowly, taking the calm with me, knowing that not every truth needs full brightness to be real. After midnight, the room changes its posture, as if it no longer needs to impress anyone. The light rests lower, the air loosens its grip, and time forgets what it was rushing toward. The clock keeps moving, but its voice softens, each second stepping forward politely, then stepping aside. Snow leans quietly against the window, not asking to come in, not trying to be seen, just staying close enough to be felt. The piano opens slowly, like it's checking whether the night is listening, placing each chord where silence can support it. Nothing is forced, nothing insists. The bass moves beneath it all, steady as a thought you trust, because it doesn't repeat itself. Stop competing for attention. They arrive one by one, sit down and wait. I stop revising old conversations, stop rehearsing future ones. The night doesn't ask me to prepare, it doesn't ask me to become anything else. Brushes move gently, sweeping time into something smooth, rounding off edges I didn't realize were sharp. Smoke rises, hesitates, then disappears without explanation. I don't follow it, I let the moment remain incomplete. Outside, the city exhales, sirens thin into distance, lights blink like tired eyes. Inside, the piano returns again, not repeating, just confirming balance after midnight. Nothing feels unfinished, nothing feels late. To the world I stand calmly, carrying the quiet forward, not as memory, but as proof that the most honest hours are often the ones no one is watching. Even now, the night hasn't finished speaking. It lingers in the room, unwilling to rush its last words. The light stays where it is, not dimming, not brightening, as if it's listening to the clock keeps moving. but its authority feels distant, more habit than rule. Snow presses gently against the window, not asking to enter, only wanting to stay close. The piano begins with restraint, each chord arriving as if it respects the space it enters. Silence is treated carefully here, left intact where it belongs. The bass moves beneath everything, steady and grounding, a reminder that nothing is about to fall apart. Brushes soften the shape of time, turning urgency into memory. Even now, my thoughts stop reaching for conclusions. They arrive slowly, sit beside me, and leave when they're ready. I don't correct them, I don't chase them. The night accepts them as they are. Smoke rises once more, pauses and fades. Nothing changes, nothing breaks. The piano leans into a chord that doesn't resolve, doesn't point forward. It stays long enough to be felt, then releases. Outside, the city loosens its grip, voices thinning, lights dimming. Inside, the room remains whole. Even now, as morning presses gently against the edge of the glass, I stand quietly, carrying the last of the night with me. The understanding that some moments don't need endings, they only need to be lived all the way through. Soft remain is what's left of the night, after the noise gives up. Not silence exactly, but something warmer, something that stays. The air settles, the room relaxes, and time begins to move without expectation. The clock ticks gently, almost decorative now. Each second passing without demand. Snow outside softens every outline, turning direction into suggestion. The piano speaks carefully, each chord placed where silence won't feel crowded. Nothing rushes forward, nothing pulls back. The bass holds everything steady, calm and dependable. A quiet promise that the ground won't shift. Brushes trace the rhythm lightly, keeping the moment intact. In this soft remain, I stop evaluating myself. I stop asking whether I've arrived, whether I've fallen behind. The night doesn't measure me, it lets me exist. Without explanation, smoke curls upward, thins and disappears. The room doesn't react, nothing is lost. The piano circles back slowly, not insisting, just checking the balance. Outside, the city lowers its voice, movement dissolving into distance. Inside, the night stays generous, wide enough to breathe in fully, wide enough to stay. Soft remain follows me when I finally stand. Morning will arrive with contrast and plenty, but it not erase this. I carry the calm forward, the understanding that some moments don't leave loudly, they simply remain quietly long after the long silence stretches across the room without asking permission, settling into corners, loosening the shape of time. The light stays low, not hiding, not revealing, just enough to keep the night honest. The clock continues politely, each second arriving, then stepping aside, like it understands it's no longer in charge. Snow collects outside the window, layering the street in patience. Nothing sparkles, nothing performs. The piano begins quietly, as if testing whether the silence is willing. Each chord lands gently, allowed to exist without being followed too quickly. The bass moves underneath everything, steady and familiar, a sound that doesn't insist on being noticed, but would be missed if it were gone. In this long silence, my thoughts finally slow their pace. They stop interrupting each other. They stop asking to be useful. I let them arrive unfinished. Let them rest, let them leave without conclusion. Brushes skim softly, smoothing the rhythm into something forgiving, something human. Smoke lifts, hesitates and disappears, leaving no trace that needs explanation. I think about how often I feel quiet because I didn't trust it. How many nights I rushed because stillness felt like a question. But here the silence doesn't ask anything. It doesn't judge. It doesn't wait for answers. The piano returns again, not repeating, just listening, confirming the room still holds together. Inside, the long silence feels complete, not empty, not full, just enough. When morning finally presses against the glass, I stand calmly, carrying the silence with me, not as absence, but as something